Like there's tons of people doing giveaways and not a ton of people are actually making all of the money that people think they are doing.
Yeah.
But like people are building $50,000 race cars and they're giving it away, and $50,000 is just to build the car. And then I talk to people, they'll spend $5,000 to $10,000 a day on Facebook ads.
What?
Like crazy amounts of money. Like at the end of some people's giveaways, I'm like, yeah, how much did you spend on Facebook ads? 80 grand. I'm like, bro, what?
We're going to chat about all these sponsors at the end of the video. Thank you so much, sponsors. We'll get to them later. Let's get started.
Hello, YouTube. I'm Aaron from Lone Star Drift and Drift Week, and you are?
I am Chris Rudnick. We're back for round 2 of the interrogation. You're in it this time.
Oh, I wasn't in it
Yeah,
last time.
before you were like behind the camera.
Should we redo it?
We were in this like dark room. I'm like, dude, this is like kind of stressful. You're asking me these questions and stuff. I'm sitting here alone, but this is cool. We're in the sand.
I just realized that must be why that video did so well, because it was like an interrogation and you were like...
It felt like an interrogation.
We should redo that.
Nah, it's fine. We don't have to do it that way. I like this. We'll together.
Just cut me out from here on. And
yeah, you're just zooming on my face.
All right, I thought it'd be fun to talk about the future with him. We were chatting about some future stuff just a few minutes ago. So this video is titled The Future of YouTube with Chris Rudnick. How about?
Okay, cool.
Okay, I thought, unless you want to do something else.
No, whatever you
All
want, man. We'll just go with the punches.
So YouTube keeps changing so rapidly, and you have been in YouTube since what year?
It's 2015. I'm almost going on 10 years of doing YouTube.
So you're one of the older car channels, right?
Yeah, and it's pretty crazy because I've had 2 real jobs. I worked at Subway. I worked at Subway for about 6 months when I was 16, 17, and then I washed dishes for about 2 weeks.
So you don't appreciate this at all then?
No, I definitely do. But like sometimes you gotta like catch yourself, you know, because like obviously like being a YouTuber can be stressful, and like there are times where you're like, oh shit, like what does a 9 to 5 kind of feel like? But then you kind of like look at from an outside point of view of like, man, I've done this, this, and this. Like it's just such a cool opportunity to be actually able to do things like this.
You should go work at McDonald's for a week and see how it is.
Dude, so it's funny that you say that, because I actually, talking about the future, like one of my big ideas, which is kind of silly, but I just like to make people laugh and stuff, like I thought it would be so cool to like, someone like me that's never had like a job, you know, like make a YouTube series of like, oh, this week I'm gonna be a carpenter. And like I have such a big following that like I know there's plenty of business owners out there that I can be like, hey, I want to try to be a roofer for a week. And you make one video documenting my struggles and wow, this sucks. 1 week I'm a plumber, you know? And like start a whole YouTube series behind actually working, but working for free for other people and helping.
Yeah. Interesting.
What do you think of that?
Would it be in your normal channel?
I don't know. I'd probably make a separate channel for that, but it's just something like, and you get to learn trades, you get to learn about people's lives and things like that.
That could do better than your actual car content, because it'd be more general. That would be so sad to go off and make some joke content. It does way better than your normal stuff.
Yeah, no, for sure. But if you like it too, I mean, that's also cool. You know?
It'd be hard to beat cars though. Like you're like a plumber, it's such a shitty job.
Yeah, but if you're doing a new job every single week, like can it get boring? You know, like obviously it would be hard and you're learning, but you're not gonna get burnt out because every week is a new job.
You should have to work in a call center, like you're just a spam caller trying to get people's credit card info or something.
Go to India, be part of like the scam callers. Yeah.
So I guess this is also about that, but going forward in the future, you've been in YouTube for so long, YouTube is rapidly changing. At least I feel like it's rapidly changing.
Yeah.
It feels like everything is turning into like whistling diesel, clickbait type stuff.
Yep.
Or even just like if you have a car channel, you know, the McLaren flood car that cost $1 million that they're rebuilding. If you have, you know, like everything's going crazy. Is that the reality of it or no?
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like YouTube has just advanced in a whole. Like you got like all of the big dogs in the pool, right? And like they have such a good team that they can like put together a car in like 3 to 5 days, whatever it may be. But like little do people see, they got 30 people on their team. They're spending all this money. They got all the sponsorships, but it's hard for almost people at my level because I'm still like smaller than them, and it's hard to try to keep up with that. You know what I mean? Like it's really hard to try to build all of these cars at a level, and people will like watch a video of like someone up here and they're like, oh shit, like this is cool, okay. And then they'll watch me try to struggle put an engine for 2 days. They're like, what's going on here? What are you doing that for? You know? And it's just like the internet has almost like tricked people. in like a good way, because obviously people are doing great and that's awesome. But like when you come back to reality, you're like, okay, like it actually takes this, this, and this. You got to know this, this, and this to be able to build the cars. And that has been a struggle for me personally.
So the larger channels have really big teams. Like what guys have 30 people helping them build a car?
I mean, 30 was just an example. I don't know, but we can use like Adam, for example. Like he can bang out a car in a week and the thing is amazing. You know, it's like for me, I have myself and then I have my filmer, and then like I will pay my friends here and there, but like I don't have enough money to be able to like hire that like true mechanic. And that's kind of what I want to work for the future. It's very easy as a YouTuber to like, oh, I don't have a video today, let me go buy a car. You know, so right now I have 36 cars.
Oh my God.
No, it's a problem. It's actually
36?
really bad. 36.
Okay, keep going. I'm gonna have questions, but I don't want to interrupt you. Keep talking. You're spilling these things on me, so this is interesting.
Yeah, so I have those 36 cars, and it's just like, now I'm at the point where it's like, okay, like I keep making this content of like buying a new car, and then my ADHD kicks in. I'm like, oh, well, this was cool for a week, but now I want this car. And then you keep doing it. But there needs to come to a point where you need to kind of stop yourself, and you have to kind of look at everything around you and like, okay, what do I really want to do? What do I really want to focus on? What do I want to build towards? So that's going to be, this year has been hard for me because I've been doing nothing but traveling. I did the LZ World Tour thing. Obviously, I'm here on Drift Week. I feel like out of this whole year alone, realistically, I've probably been home for about 60 days this year.
Wow.
Just straight traveling. And don't get me wrong, I love it. It's amazing. But I don't have that team that's at home. So like, I'll go to Australia for a week or 2 weeks or whatever. I come home, nothing's been done because I'm the guy. You know, I feel like I have so many different avenues that I'm trying to do, and I think I just need to kind of step back, kind of take a look at what I'm doing, and go from there.
So are you really even building cars if you're gone that long? Or are you just a travel, you know, how do you say it, like lifestyle vlogger?
Well, I didn't really have any intention of like traveling as much as I did, but like in the beginning of the year, I started building my S14. I brought it on Drift Week. It was the one that I blew up. I brought it there. I brought it to my buddy's shop. We're doing a fully forged S15 SR with an HKS turbo kit. That's still being done. In the beginning of the year, we also built a Colorado. We put an LS3 engine in it with an LSA supercharger. That thing is like fully ready to rip. It's at another shop because obviously I have to outsource things because I'm constantly traveling, but that just needs a wiring harness and that thing's ready to go. And it's hard to build cars like you were saying when you're just constantly traveling.
Are you really even a YouTube car building channel at that point then is what I'm saying? You're just like a vlogging channel?
I guess. I've never really described myself as a car builder. I've never wanted to be that guy that is sitting in a shop 7 days a week or 7 days and just doing that every day. Like I love traveling, I love meeting people, I like drifting, I like all of that stuff.
Interesting. You know? So what's the future for you the next 5 years then, do you think? Like where do you want to be? What do you want to do? Do you want to have 100 cars? Do you want to be a build channel? Do you want to get rid of everything and free yourself and just be a traveling person?
Yeah.
What do you do?
I wouldn't go as far as 5 years. Let's chill there. 5 years is a long time. But no, this year I've really been focused on just kind of getting my assets together, kind of getting my life together. Like I've been looking for a house, making sure all my taxes are good. Like I've really just been cleaning up my life and doing all of that. So like at the beginning of next year, 2024, I can really just start selling a lot of stuff. Like I already have a list of all of my cars and my notes and like what's this worth, what can I sell this for, and what can I use that money for, and things like that. Like I had a couple Kiwis come here on Drift Week. They've been using my 370Z, and my buddy Zach, he's like jack of all trades. He's like super good, and he's been helping me a lot on this Drift Week and stuff. And I'm like, yo, like next year, like I'm gonna try to open up like a lot of capital. I want you to come here for like 60 days. Let's formulate game plans, and like I'm gonna focus on the cars that I want to focus on, and then he's gonna help me build them. So I'm gonna probably take a little bit of a break from all of this traveling so we can really kind of buckle down and like figure out like really what cars I want and the cars that I kind of just bought just because I have ADHD.
So that's talking about kind of finishing your car builds and like your life of doing your taxes, which I guess is just normal human stuff.
Yeah.
How does like a channel like yours grow and get to the next level? Is it doing car giveaways and that's just like how everyone has to do it?
The car giveaways are getting out of hand. The
They're
car
crazies.
giveaways are crazy. I feel like everything on Instagram is just about car giveaways. Like just like last month.
That just feels like Jordan. Jordan even like texts me on accident that.
Yeah.
I was gonna say it's crazy how much I see. Yeah, keep going.
Dude, no, it's insane. Like, and I actually use that. Like, all of my friends are obviously doing giveaways and stuff, so I'll help them promote it, and like they'll give me percentages of the giveaway and stuff, and I get commission based. And obviously, I have a big platform, so that helps me make money as well. So I haven't personally done my own giveaways. I have talked to Zach and like something that I want to do, but for me, it's like if I'm gonna do a giveaway, I want to do it with a car that's like really good, that has like purpose. Like, I feel like a lot of people just kind of give away a car and it doesn't really have a meaning to it. Like, I really love Jordans.
I see what you mean. Yeah.
I loved Jordans because it was his F80, you know? He's done a bunch of drift events. He loved that car. He's done really cool things with it, and it has a personality. I hate when I see cars that are just like, oh yeah, we're just giving this away, and it's kind of like a cash grab in a way. Not like singling anyone out, of course, but like I've seen, like, you scroll through Facebook and it's 10 car giveaways instantly.
Yeah, it's so weird. But I assume because it's so highly profitable. So is that the most profitable thing channels do, or is it just merch in general, or does you need the car giveaway to, you know, like push the merch?
I think, well, see,
YouTube
that's another
views?
weird problem now. So it's like, I don't really do giveaways. And like, I started just doing them here and there, like, hey, we're gonna give away this iPhone or whatever, just because I like to see the analytics and I like to see the things behind that. And like, okay, we had a merch drop the first week, this is what we made, let's try to give away an iPhone and see if that really bumps it up, you know? And it definitely does. It definitely incentivizes people to buy more things. But the problem with the giveaways is like everyone's doing it. So it's like, if you're someone like, I don't know if you do merch, but like if me and you are selling merch and we're just selling merch and you got, these guys are like, why are we gonna buy Aaron and Chris's merch if I can go enter to win this F80?
Yeah. You
know, so now it's a real sticky situation where it's like, are people now trained to like, oh, I'm only gonna buy merch when there's a giveaway? You know, and I'm also scared to do giveaways because it's like, if I do a giveaway next month and then I do a merch drop after that, is it gonna do good? Or now am I subject to giveaways? So I've thought about the giveaway thing a lot over the past year, and it's just like, I just don't know if I wanna get into that. Which at some point I will, and I will try it, but it's just, I feel like it's a sticky situation. I have a lot of friends that do it. I mean, I've seen people make a lot of money. I've seen people lose a lot of money, you know?
Oh, I've seen some friends, I don't want to pull anybody out, have showed me their like actual bank accounts and all that stuff, and they lose money doing these merch things. There's very large amounts of money that they're doing, and then they lose, and you know, you're just like sitting there and you're like, oh God, this is so complicated.
So complicated.
They're like, but I make it up in the hype or something else, and you're like, I'd rather get paid in money than hype.
Well, it's so crazy because I'll talk to a couple people, and like, people are, a lot of my friends are really transparent and they'll show me all of their stuff, and I'm just like, there's such big numbers, but at the end of the day, they tell me their profit. I'm like, dude, I made more off of that just doing my normal merch drops without all of this hassle. And now you've taxed your audience, you've done all of this, and I mean, people may get tired of it, you know? And it's like, if you're doing all of this to make, let's just call it a random number, 20 grand, and you just tax your audience for a full month, you know, it's like, that wears on people.
Yeah.
And it's like, is it worth doing all of that effort? Because obviously you have to go through lawyers, you have to do all of these things, you have to pay for the bonds. It's just, I don't know, it's a lot.
In the future, before we get to like the other crazy stuff, what do you think is like the pie chart for some of these, like if you're gonna try and run a big YouTube channel, is the YouTube view monetization like 50%, 20%, 10%? Is it nothing compared to these giveaways? Are the giveaways like the vast majority of these channels and so profitable they can't do them?
I've learned a lot, like the pie chart, I've like learned a lot about that over the last couple of years, because like when I first started YouTubing, it was all about like the YouTube ad rev, right? But like in order to be successful now, like you really need to spread yourself. Like you need to have your YouTube ad rev, you need to have your merch, you need to have all of that. Like I have a Patreon where we post, like we just did a street drifting video that's probably not good to post on YouTube. So I have a subscription-based platform where you can kind of watch like the bad things we do in a way, you know? And like, I think you need to like kind of stretch yourself. So instead of YouTube being the whole thing, YouTube can be a little thing, and then you have all of these little avenues, you know? But I think the car giveaway, it really depends on the person, you know? Like 8080, for example, they've been doing it for so long, so they have such a cult fan base that they're always good. But the problem is I think people see that and they're like, oh, if he can do it, why can't I?
Yeah.
And they'll just put it all on a credit card and hope for the best. And honestly, a lot of people fail. Like there's tons of people doing giveaways and not a ton of people are actually making all of the money that people think they are doing, you know?
Interesting.
So I don't really know about the I can't give my full opinion on it because I haven't done it too much, but I can say the giveaways that I have done, like the iPhone, I gave away like a Apple Watch, like they're good. Like that pays out. And I'll do like just one day
And it's
giveaways.
much cheaper than giving away.
It's
that
much
baby.
cheaper and there's no risk. You know, it's like, okay, this is a $700 watch. Like if for whatever reason I don't make $700, I'm not gonna die.
Yeah.
But like people are building $50,000 race cars and they're giving it away, and $50,000 is just to build the car. And then I talk to people, they'll spend $5,000 to $10,000 a day on Facebook ads.
What?
Like crazy amounts of money. Like at the end of some people's giveaways, I'm like, yeah, how much did you spend on Facebook ads? 80 grand. I'm like, bro, what?
But
like,
isn't the point of being a YouTuber so you don't have to do that? You control your own audience and message, and you know.
but at the same time, you're taxing them. You know, so if you're using a different platform and stuff, because like, say you do 10 giveaways and you're constantly promoting it on YouTube, people are sick of it.
I see.
You know, so like Facebook is a whole nother avenue of a whole nother demographic that honestly you may not even care about because they're not like your core people. They're just random people that are just scrolling through Facebook aimlessly that you're paying for.
So you're not even doing that to your audience necessarily, you're doing it to other people.
Yeah, but I have talked to like a few people, and the reason why some people will spend certain amounts of money is like, sure, maybe at the end of the giveaway they've only made 10 grand, but they've gotten all of that extra traffic to their website. So now you get that extra traffic, maybe 5% of people now put their phone number in it. So you made 10 grand at the end of the giveaway, but maybe you got 5,000 people's phone numbers. And now when you do the next giveaway, you send out that text alert, you do that. So that $80,000 or whatever you spent on Facebook ads is now maybe now 40,000 because you've already paid for those people. You know what I'm saying?
Interesting.
Honestly, the whole giveaway thing, it's stressful. It's a whole game. And I kind of just learned through other people, and I've learned a lot from it.
I'm thinking about it.
Yeah, like it makes sense when you kind of break it down.
I don't really want to do it. It's just like, it's interesting to learn all these things, and it's crazy. So going back to YouTube and everything and the future of YouTube, when I think about YouTube and like the average person watching, if there's say 20 or 50 main YouTube channels, they're getting so good at what they do, like you said, with crews and with people, really interesting cars, very elaborate builds, very clickable things like the guy that bought a salvage title P1 whatever McLaren, or you know, someone is doing an RX-7 never-ending project if you're an RX-7 guy, or you know, Hoonigan has a bunch of, you know, stuff. How do all the other, because like those big channels are obviously going to do so well and so clickable that I feel like they only get bigger and like expand and kill all the smaller channels. So if you're someone that wants to think about the next 5 years, do you stress out and think that like, oh man, what do I do that is so clickable that I can drift a McLaren, or you know, like I could do this or that? That could either break you or become famous. Like it's such a, how do you navigate that, and how do you think about it?
You've kind of just explained my whole life, you know?
Really?
That's like just a constant like everyday battle. Like what can we do better? Like how can we get more views? Like what can we do that is different from other people? Because like obviously from 2015 to now, YouTube has changed insane, you know? Like back in the day you were able to just like film yourself at the grocery store, like literally, and like it was cool. And like obviously you have to get better as you go, but some people kind of caught that wave and they're really good with business and they're really good at that stuff, and they have optimized that situation to the point where it's like they do these crazy things. And if you didn't do that early, like someone like me, you know, like I've always done YouTube for fun, you know, it's always just been a fun thing. I just like doing things and exploring, and like I've never been tied to like one thing. Like I always just filmed my life, you know? Like I'm not a car builder, I'm not a vlogger, I'm not a BMXer. It's just like, well, the thing that I want to do that day is what I'm gonna film. But that's now tricky because you can't really get away with that anymore. Like you really need to start structuring things more and like really planning things out, but all of that costs a lot of money. So that's why, going back to the beginning of the conversation, it's like the next couple months I'm kind of gonna take a step back, sell a lot of stuff, open, let's call it $100,000, and just like money that I can put places, and then really create a series that I'm happy with and something that we can stick to, and I have, let's call it $30,000 to have this mechanic come in, and I can pay him a really good wage weekly, and he's happy and everything is working and the views go up, you know? I just need that lump sum of cash to try to almost catch up. You know what I mean? But as for new YouTubers, people ask me this question all the time. It's very challenging, just because, like, what do you do? How do you stand out? You know, it's like, how do you compete with people that have endless amount of money or whatever, and endless amount of people, endless amount of knowledge? Like, how often do you see a new channel just randomly blow up?
I don't know.
Yeah, you know, like, it's hard, and like people,
unless it's really good content or very interesting for a very specific thing, it's not like, and they also get into a niche, like maybe electric cars weren't a thing a few years ago and now somebody's doing.
Well, you can always get into that trendy stuff, and like, if you're on top of it, like if you're always watching YouTube and you see something just starting, you're like, I'm gonna do this because I know this and I can do this better. Then maybe you can get in that way. But I feel like everyone just tries to make the YouTube because, I mean, I feel like a lot of people think YouTubing is a lot easier than it is. And I'm not saying like
it's easy to do, but not easy to get views or grow or get big and monetize and make money.
It's not easy to make it your full-time life. And it's like, YouTube is a lifestyle, you know? It's like, there's not a second in any day that I'm not thinking about, oh, I didn't post today, what are we gonna do tomorrow? Or if you have that weird buffer, because I post every other day. So like, if I, like, for example, I didn't post yesterday because we have done a lot of drifting. I've made about 3 or 4 drift videos. Like, obviously every automotive YouTuber is doing drifting. So it's like, you start the first video, pretty good views. Second video, okay, a little less. Third video, all right. Fourth video, like, what do I do? Like, this, I can't post another drift video, you know? So it's like, now I'm just kind of like hanging out. I'm gonna use my Instagram and stuff to like kind of just like show people what's happening and stuff.
Oh, for Drift Week?
Yeah.
Sorry, my brain went off for a second. I was gonna say, what I do, sorry to interrupt you, I was gonna say, I go after, like, maybe I chat with you for an interview, I go look at the coolest car and like try and think about like the craziest car in Drift Week.
So that's what I was doing too.
That black E92 car with a supercharger, go for a ride with him. Maybe you would drive it and review it. It's like, you're here, does that not work well?
No, that's so funny that you say that, because I just went to Australia for the LZ World Tour. And like, you're walking in the pits and everyone's just like this, you know, filming.
It's so cringy, you don't know what to do.
And it's just like, I'm looking around and I'm like,
The fans are even doing it.
Yeah, everyone has a camera in their hand and they're like, and I'm thinking in my head, I'm like, do I do this? It's like a weird thing. It's like, okay, am I gonna make the same video as everyone else, or am I gonna try to do something a little different? So I actually, I had a buddy there, Jay, he has a 2JZ Honda Odyssey. And he put the Honda Odyssey body on a 370Z chassis and fully built out the whole thing. And like, me growing up, for some weird reason, I've loved Honda Odysseys. I don't know why. I wanted it to be my first car, but my mom said, Chris, you're stupid, don't do that. And that car just stood out to me, and like, I literally fell in love with it, and I was just chit-chatting with him. I'm like, dude, let's make a video on this. Like, I love this car. And he's like, why don't you drive it? I'm like, oh my God. Like, I just totaled like someone's car. Like, someone let me use a car and I smashed into a wall. I paid for it, of course. But no, I just wrecked it. So I'm all like anxious and stuff. Like, this is a beautiful car and everything. But no, it ended up doing great. Like, the chemistry between us was really good because I was excited about the video. That's another thing. If you make videos and you're not excited about it, you're not gonna do well. But yeah, pretty much what you said, what you do on Drift Week cars. And honestly, I was thinking about doing it to that Volvo. I forgot his name, but you know what I'm talking about, the 5.3.
Yeah, I made a video on it.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Did you post it yet?
No, but I'll
sounds
post
like I'm gonna
it
try to beat him to it, you know? Gonna start filming that when I end this interview.
No, the first 2 Drift Weeks, we made an episode of every track and gathered up every YouTuber's video, and we made like a whole recap video of every place. And I loved it, but it was so time intensive until I get
editing and stuff?
Yeah, until I get a person, because it was like 6,000 clips of media.
Do you edit your videos?
I do the big ones like that, and then Sai does stuff that's like we can do nightly on here.
Okay.
But I do 90% of the channel probably, and you do the stuff that when he's on a trip with me.
Yeah.
This is mostly, I could film this stuff myself, but it's easier for me to have a camera operator and make sure everything's charged because I'm in charge of the event.
The interviews must be pretty easy, like, because in your head, if they go pretty good, do you even edit? Do you? Or you
Oh,
just
we
kinda
watch them, we edit them slightly, and like when you talk about something about the LZ tour, we'll toss in a video of you crashing
cool.
a car if we have
Oh,
it.
nice. Well, it's definitely on there.
Right, so I was gonna say we try and go look for that footage, or like if there's some cool D1 car, like
That's
if you're
cool. So you
talking
put in the effort and stuff.
Yeah,
I
so
like
we'll put
that.
the Volvo on top when you're talking about the Volvo.
Yep.
But it just depends on but yes, it takes minimal editing compared to like a whole recap of you making a trip. And for my channel, the people I think, because I'm around so many interesting people like yourself, they'd rather see me
thanks.
talk to you than see me drive my car.
Yeah. No, of course.
But they do want to see me drive the car. They do want to see me do things. Otherwise, you become irrelevant as a driver.
Yep.
There's people that still, I've been driving for 20 years. I drove like, in D1 and Nope and Formula D. And like my own drivers in an event, they'll see me driving, like, oh, you have a drift car? I'm like, fuck you.
I did D1 this year. It was actually really cool.
Oh, in what country?
New Zealand.
Oh, I keep forgetting to have a D1 down there. How was it?
No, it was awesome. I did the pro sport,
That's
and
so cool.
my buddy Calvin, he let me use his S13. And honestly, we did pretty good. I only did the round 1 and round 2, but just for those 2 rounds, we ended up in 7th place.
Congratulations.
Which it was really cool. And I ended up making a few friends there, and I actually had a couple people offer me some cars, and I'm thinking about doing it again this year. But we're already doing it, like traveling, like I need to really focus on what I want to do for the next year and how am I going to do it.
This leads exactly into my next question. I was going to say, I keep using that McLaren like flood car because it kind of took the internet with millions and millions of views. You can go through what the internet and virality and clickbait wants you to do, which is something like that, which is the escalation of projects, cars. You're not going to get a crazier project car than that, like an F40 rebuild or something. You can either do that and try and escalate it like a whistling diesel thing too, or you could just do what you want to do and hope that the audience follows you. And like you could go do a whole season of D1, you could go do, I don't know, your travel vlogs, or you could go do LZ World Tour. I always just do what I want, but it becomes very niche because there's only so many people that want to watch you do driving in D1. What are you going to do? Like, are you going to continue doing that kind of thing?
That's kind of give and take as well. Like, obviously you have to try, like, you're always going to do what you want to do, but there has to come to a point where it's like, okay, I want to do this, but maybe like, in your head, like it's not going to do as good as the other things that you should be doing, Like I love mountain biking. Like I would love to just kind of go travel. This is a little off topic, but what I really want to do is I want to build a van, like to live in, like a Mercedes Sprinter van, right? And I just want to travel the country. I want a nice aluminum trailer. I want a nice drift car behind it, a nice mountain bike, and just hit every single state, go to all of the mountain bike parks, hit all of the tracks, like kind of like Drift Week and stuff. And like that's really what I want to do, but it's a scary jump, because that just changes everything. It's like, are people going to be interested in that? Like, do people like that? And it's like, so now I have that plan and I'm gonna do that eventually in my life and I'm working towards that, but I wanna focus more on other things I wanna do. Like obviously I wanna build the cool cars that I wanna build and I wanna do that, but I don't even remember the question. I kind of got.
That's interesting because van life would absolutely not intersect with drift cars.
Van life is huge.
No, I was gonna say van life is bigger than drift cars and everything else, but van life people probably hate race cars and they want the minimalistic life without a trailer with a race car which needs all the work. They just want to surf and mountain bike.
But you could still live the minimal lifestyle. Obviously drifting's expensive and stuff, but like you could still do that. You could still make those hikey vlogs. You could still do the mountain bike vlogs. You could still show your daily struggles. Like people, like I'm so simple, and like that's really why I'm not like too stressed out about like YouTube or anything, because if I literally just had a van and I would just sleep at Planet Fitness parking lots and just shower there and just go to the gym and just live a minimal life, like I'm 26.
Why don't you just do it for a month and see if it catches on?
I mean, I could, but you gotta buy the van and all of that stuff. But like,
what's interesting is that could be clickbaity for like 3 episodes, but by the time you get to episode 17, maybe it wears off.
It's kind of funny, like I've always thought, like, because obviously YouTube won't last forever, of course, like you're gonna have to venture off in something, but what I was thinking was like washed up YouTuber lives in a van, like say my channel dies tomorrow, right? Like you just release everything, like, oh, this is what I used to make, this is what I used to do, now we're here in this van, how long can we self-sustain this, And now we're making a separate channel on this washed up YouTuber, and maybe people are gonna be interested to see, oh, Chris Rudnick, he's been fine for 10 years. He's had enough money to do whatever he wants. Now he's broke. Like, how is he gonna survive? And like, that's relatable, because obviously people don't make a lot of people don't make what YouTubers make and stuff. And like, I think relatable content is the best content, you know?
Yeah.
Like, obviously, the big YouTubers will always get the big views because they're doing crazy things, but I think people really like to watch people kind of in the same boat as them, because if they can do it on the internet, then it makes you feel like you can do it because you can, you know? Like, you watch, I just use Adam as an example because he's like a really big YouTuber, but if you watch Adam and he's building his car in 1 week, you like it because it's really cool. Adam's got a great personality, he's a great guy, but you know 9 out of 10 people probably can't do that, you know? But if you are a washed up YouTuber, like maybe I will be one day, whatever, and you want to live in a van, hey, this is how you do it, you know?
Interesting.
It's kind of a crazy plan, but it makes me happy.
Well, it's good you have a plan. His 5-year plan is to be washed up and be in a
washed
van.
up, I'm going to be in a van coming to a Planet Fitness near you. Because I've learned, like, over the past, like, 6 months, like, health is wealth. And that sounds so, like, cliche, you know?
Yeah.
But, like, I lost, like, 30 pounds in the past, like, 6 months.
Oh, congratulations.
Thank you. And, like, I go to the gym every day, and, like, just waking up, going to the gym, eating healthy, doing all that stuff, like, makes you feel so much better, and, like, makes you realize, like, you don't need all of this stuff. You know? It's like, if you're healthy and you feel good and all of that, like, all of the other stuff is irrelevant. Like, if you mentally feel good, then you're just gonna be good, you know?
Man, that's like the best ending to this video.
You know, it's the truth. And like, I used to, like, when I was younger, and even like 2 years ago, like, I'd read comments, I'd read stupid websites, and like, people would just like try to put you down and stuff. And it's just like, okay, these people literally make threads about my life to talk crap about it. Like, what does that say about them? You know, it's like, I must be doing something right if they just want to every single day go on this and talk crap about me. You know, and it's just like, who are they to me, you know? I don't give a fuck. I don't know if you're allowed to swear on this, but
yeah, it doesn't matter.
I don't care, you know? And it used to bother me so much because I used to, like, try to get their, like, permission or their approval of things. I'm like, man, I got to do it this way because these guys need to like me. I just don't care, you know? It's like, I almost just, like, laugh when I see comments like that now. It's all good. There's something going on.
There's, like, screaming everywhere, and I'm worried something's wrong. They're yelling fire?
Hopefully it's not that
Okay, it'll sort itself out. I apologize about that. I'm running an event, and I'm just like, oh, God, people are screaming at me.
Yeah.
It'll sort itself out.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
But yeah, no, realistically.
Oh, there's people running. We'll deal with it in a minute.
Yeah.
Anything else to say?
No, I mean, unless you have any other
I do
questions.
think that this interview ended really, besides the fire comment, that was a really good thing. I was thinking you were going to say I want to escalate it in certain ways or anything else, but being
Like, don't
happy
get me wrong,
with your life and your health and realizing that, like, YouTube is finite, and you were about to say something, go ahead.
Like, don't get me wrong, I'm gonna do my best for as long as I can and stuff, but at the end of the day, like, you just need to think about the bigger picture, you know? Like, we're only here for such a long time. You can only, like, do the best you can, and just focus on yourself, eat healthy, eat better, you know, and I promise, like, you just feel better, you know? And, like, once you start to get into rhythms, like, sometimes I can't sleep at night because I'm excited to go to the gym. And, like, the first month, you're like, oh, I hate this. Like, I hate eating good. I hate all of this. But, like, once you put it into your schedule and stuff, it becomes a lifestyle. Off topic, I was thinking about starting a fitness channel.
That's probably way larger than car stuff.
I know. And I'll still do car stuff and stuff. And I'm probably doing that thing where I spread myself thin again. But it's just, I'm passionate about it, and I like it, and I'm learning every day about it.
You said you had 36 cars, right?
Yeah.
How much happiness does cars 2 through 36 bring you versus just 1?
I don't know. They
Any happiness?
They bring me stress. They bring me anxiety.
A lot of people probably get excited or jealous of, you know, like number 2 through 36 because they have 1 car, but they can't imagine 36.
Yeah, it's honestly kind of funny
because
because my favorite car I like to drive is just my new BMW, you know, because it just works.
What is it?
It's a 2021 BMW M2 Comp.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's just a good daily, you know?
You don't even care about the modified stuff.
No, of course I care about it.
But
like,
you don't care about it as much.
It's just, if I had to drive a car for the rest of my life, I'm probably gonna pick the BMW. You know, just because it works and it's nice and it's fast and it's just, the technology's great. you know?
right.
But like, I have a JZX. I love it. It needs a lot of work. It's twin turbo right now. It's just a stock 1J whatever. I want a single turbo it. I want to change the diff setup. I want to change the angle kit. The coilovers suck. And now I've already listed $10,000 worth of stuff. I have a Unos Roadster that we're putting an SR20 into it. It needs a turbo. It needs this. It needs that. Another 10 grand, you know? I have a STI imported from the UK. That's a fully forged engine and stuff, but I kind of want to keep it because I drove it from the UK to the Nürburgring and I raced on the Nürburgring with it. And
that's awesome.
Yeah, like I've done cool things with that. And I don't know, you can talk about cars for forever. I have a S14 that I brought on Drift Week, but now it's like, we've done so much work to it. And it's going to be so cool. Like I can't sell that either. So I just got to sit down with myself and figure out the ones I want to keep. Like realistically, I'd be happy with 8 cars. How many cars do you have?
15 or so, maybe?
Yeah, okay.
Something like
You're
that.
getting up there, dude.
Well, I try and clear the herd constantly. I've had more than at least 150 in my life, though. But
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
old.
Oh, for sure. I've had probably 200 cars.
I was going to say, but yeah, after the second car, they bring you much less happiness. Probably like that with kids, too.
Yeah, they bring you stress, too.
Yeah. Okay, thank you so much.
Awesome.
Thank you, audience, for watching. I hope you got a little insight into his future and everything.
I'll catch you at a Planet
Thank
Fitness.
you so much. Yeah. Go drive. I'm going to go figure out what this fire was.
All right, bye.
Audience.
And thank you to all the sponsors that make Drift Week happen, including ECU Master, who make great standalone ECUs for your car. Volino Tires. I run their tires. I specifically run the 285/35/1808C. It's my favorite tire ever. Great tire, great life, great grip. BC Racing Custom Coilovers, the coolest, most supportive coilover company and most successful at this point in drifting. NK Wheels, if F1 cars can run those things, pretty sure my car can. Super light, one-piece cast. RPF1's my favorite wheel. Vape Tasia, very supportive company in drifting for many years. Thank you so much. They come on the trip. Awesome guy, Chris Finch, thank you. Heat Wave. You obviously have seen their sunglasses all over the place. Thank you so much for supporting Drift Week. Just Racing Engines. If you need a JZ built, they're out of Vegas. Hit them up. And whatmonstersdo.com. They've been supporting us forever. Go to their discount code website thing. Type in Ebisu for 20% off. Thank you so much to all these sponsors for so many years of support. Bye, everybody.